When I first time visited Netherlands, I saw the big windows.
They're very direct. They always have an opinion.
Also, the humor is different here.
Everything is organized. Everything is by schedule or afspraak.
I quite enjoy a few things. The stroopwafels, the kroketten, bitterballen.
Lots of milk. People do drink lots of milk.
Someone with nicely dressed in a suit and tie and a very formal shoe, and he was riding a bike, because that I had never seen in my life before.
At the beginning, when we were applying for a mortgage, they said because I had a British passport, I probably wouldn't need a temporary residence stamp or a residence stamp of any type. And I spoke to the mortgage advisor yesterday, who told me that, in fact, I do need the stamp.
Simple things. To go to a real estate agent and find a house, you first needed to apply online, but to apply online you had to pay a fee with a Dutch bank account. But I couldn't get a Dutch bank account till I had my Sophie OBSN number, but then I needed to get a residence to be able to get that number. So it's kind of this closed loop, and so you say, well, what's first?
Sometimes it's difficult because when you fill the information in the papers, the form is in English, and you fill the form, but sometimes you receive all the papers in Dutch.
To get the residential permit, it took me 4 months.
The biggest worries I have with such a complex and long bureaucratic processes is that we might lose a lot of top talent.
So I've lived prior to this and worked in Japan and Germany, and Holland really takes the gold medal for bureaucracy.
Any help from outside is really necessary when you're moving into the completely new environment for you.
Yeah, it would be nice to have an international office where you can ask for help in all kind of issues, all kind of questions, housing and insurance, and how does it work this way, and how it changed when you pass from a student to working.
If there was a help desk somewhere in Twente in order to help me sort of integrate and come into the Twente region, yeah, it would help.
A sort of an international sale where an expat could go to one window place, and someone more informative person, and maybe the same person sitting who is aware about all those complexities and the legalities of the thing.
It would be nice to see something like that implemented, either within Panalytical or outside of Panalytical, where people coming into the country could contact a desk to find out what they need to do in order to get everything set in motion.
Get connected with the music.
Integration into the society is, of course, the issue for all foreigners in here.
Fortunately, I ended up having some contacts outside of work that had spent some time in the Netherlands. So they were able to tell me, listen, everybody speaks English, don't worry about it.
Even when you go to Open Mart on Saturday, the one who sells potato in the morning, he could also speak in English and he could also speak in German.
But it is quite difficult when you don't speak the language to be able to penetrate into those social groups. And I'm really looking forward to being able to speak good enough Dutch to be able to integrate a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm trying right now to learn Dutch because for the meetings in my office is also really important. I can understand more now than a couple of years ago.
If you have children, it's very easy through what we know in English is kindergarten, the kleuters. That's where you meet your friendship. That's where you get into your social circles. So children are very enabling for developing a social network.
I would like to stay here since I learned so much since I'm here 3 years ago. I would like to stay here for a couple of years, working, learning more on my work, having more experience here.
I like my job. Yeah, surrounding is really good. and I think for the nearest several years, I would be still here.
I think the question really here is about what my children do, and that's very interesting. Whether they see themselves as Dutch, 6 years, 7 years now in Holland. They prefer speaking Dutch with each other. So my question is, what will happen to them in the future? But that's an exciting world. Europe, as we know, is or will be getting closer. So they might be the first Brits that actually feel European.
Well, back in my country, I wanted to study abroad, so I started to look online for some universities.
And the fact that University of Twente is known or recognized more internationally as an entrepreneurial university.
Panalytical was one of the companies which is exactly matching to what I was looking for.
I joined the company and the opportunity rose to come here, and the company happened to be here. So
Further than that, I couldn't tell you. It was basically I got offered the job and was happy to move to the Netherlands.
So I really came for the work. We looked around in terms of the region as where to live, but essentially the kind of Twente chose me because the work was here.